Morning guys, Ben, the Outdoors Air Gunner, out here this morning to start a new video series for shooting gear reviews where we're going to be comparing some different air rifles against one another. See which one comes out on top. This series will include some PCP rifles, some good old-fashioned pump rifles, and also some break barrel rifles. Today, that's what we're doing, is the break barrels. We're going to start off comparing the Umarex Octane Elite to the Gamo Magnum. Now this is the Magnum with the swarm mechanism. This is the new edition of the Magnum. The first one did not have the swarm and it did not have the suppressor here at the end. So I think these will make a pretty good comparison. We're going to go ahead and shoot them over the Crony. We're going to shoot some 30-yard accuracy. I'm going to put them on a scale, see which one's heavier, and just sort of talk about the differences in the rifles. Now the Octane Elite has what they call the stop shock system. And what that does is there's like basically a shock absorber inside the stock and lets the action move sort of freely or independently of the stock, and it absorbs that recoil shock. Of course, the swarm mechanism is on the Gamo, and what that does is every time you cock the barrel, it drives a new pellet right into there. So you've got a 10-shot magazine and you don't have to hand load each individual shot. So they've both got their subtle differences, maybe little advantages over the other, but this is going to be about really which rifle comes out on top. Velocity, accuracy, how much they weigh, and just we'll see which one's the winner, kind of, at least in my opinion. You guys can be the judge for yourself. Stay tuned. This is going to be awesome. So you can see right here it's at 0 pounds. Let's see how much this Umarex Octane Elite's going to weigh for us. 10.5 pounds, 10.5 pounds. So that is with the included Umarex scope, and both of these I'm just going to be doing today with the included optics. So 10.5 pounds on the Octane Elite. All right, so you can see we're at 0 again there. Let's go ahead and see how much the Gamo weighs. 8.2 pounds. All right, so this thing's over 2 pounds lighter than the Octane Elite. So that's definitely, oh, there we go. So that's definitely kind of an advantage in my opinion, because, you know, I like a rifle that you can carry around all day without really getting too weighed down by it. You know, you'd be surprised how much of a difference those little over 2 pounds can make. So I'm going to say that as far as in the weight category, Gamo wins it for sure. All right, so we got the Crony set up. We're going to do 10 shots with each rifle, and I'm going to start out using the Umarex Octane Elite. The pellets we're using are neutral brand, just because I'm trying to be fair. So we're using the H&N Sniper Lights. These are 14.04 grains. So it's a pretty light sort of a weight. And I figured that'd be fair with each of them. Hopefully get us close to the manufacturer's claimed velocity on there. So here we go. We're going to do first shot here with the Octane. Let's see what we get. .787. .774. $795. $785. 788. $780. I lost count of how many shots that was, so we'll do like 2 more. $773. $755. Wow, that was really low. We'll do 1 more. I think that was 10. Here we go. $777. All right. So we've got now the Gamo Magnum with the Swarm magazine there, loaded up with 10 shots of the same pellets, 14.04 grain sniper lights, and let's go ahead and shoot those over the crony. 10 shots. All right. $874. Ah, I erred. Darn it all. $885. $891. $859. $879. $891. $886. $860. I think this is the last one. $841. Wow, that one wasn't moving very quick compared to the rest, but still, that was definitely putting out more velocity than the Umarex. Let's go ahead and try 1 more, just because I did error on that one. I want to be able to get my numbers from a full 10-shot string here. And I error again. All right. Whoops. All right, let's try it again. Let's get it on this one. Another error? What's wrong with me? Come on, crony. Do your job. All right, here we go. $861. So already I know that this one's shooting quite a bit faster, not quite 100 feet a second faster, but almost. So I'm going to say that the Gamo is putting out more power than the Umarex as well. It's a little bit louder. You probably can't tell on the video, but the Gamo definitely has a little bit more of a crack to it. I don't know if it's the RAM inside the Magnum that's a little bit louder, or if it's actually the suppressor isn't doing as much of work as the silencer suppressor on the Umarex is. But whatever it is, this thing's just a little bit louder. But out here and in a hunting situation, like you'd probably be using either of these for, I really don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, that subtle difference, in the loudness factor. I mean, It's barely perceivable, but definitely the Gamo is just a little bit louder. All right, guys, so I'm all set up. I actually decided to go ahead and push it out to 35 yards. I'm going to start out with the Umarex Octane Elite. I am using JSB 1813s. These are just the domed 18 grain JSB pellets. And I've got a camera on the target there. And the first one I'm going to go ahead and try to hit is the top right target. So that'll be the first target we aim at with the Umarex Octane Elite here. I've got the scope set to 9 power, parallaxed up here to, like I say, 35 yards. And I guess that's about all we need to know. Let's see how these do for accuracy. Whoa. Either that was a heck of a flyer, or I am really crappy at shooting. I don't know, one or the other. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Gamo Magnum. It's getting hot. I'm going to take this sweater off and let's do a 10-shot group with the Gamo Magnum. All right, so got the Magnum ready to go here. 10-shot magazine loaded up with the same JSB 18 grain pellets. I'm going to go ahead and shoot for the bottom right target with this one, and we'll see how the group turns out with the Gamo. Feels like the Gamo is maybe just slightly more difficult to cock, but they're both high power break barrels, and definitely neither of them are easy to cock. You know, they both take a little bit of effort, that's for sure. All right, fix up my bag here. Here we go. I pulled that one. That one was my fault. All right. Well, I think that from here, the group that I got with the Gamo looks a little bit better than the group I got with the Octane Elite. Let's go ahead and grab that target. We'll come back and we'll wrap this video up for you guys. All right, guys, so there you have it. Umarex Octane Elite versus Gamo Swarm Magnum. And in the testing I've done today, I'm going to say that Gamo's the winner, and here's why. All right, so the Gamo is lighter, it's shooting faster, and it is definitely, irrefutably more accurate. Now, let's explain this group a little bit. Here, that one up there, first of all, this is what I shot with the Umarex Octane Elite. And this shot up here, that was a definite flyer. It just went off into way left field there. I've got no idea why, other than probably a bent skirt. Now the rest of them, they were all grouping right here. These squares are 1-inch squares. So if we go from here, 1, 2, a little over 2-inch in any direction, 1, 2. So this is about a 2.5 or 2.25-inch group. Now this one here, this is the group that I shot with the Gamo. That shot wasn't a flyer, but I pulled it. I could feel when I shot that I pulled that shot. That was stupid. But the rest of them, we go, this is again a 1-inch square, a little bit less than maybe about 1.5-inch group from there to there. And from there to there, again, about 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25 inches. So we're going from like a 2.25 down to a 1.5 or 1.25 inch group with the Gamo. And with either of these guns, I'm sure if I practice a little more with them, I could improve those groups. But it definitely seems like the Gamo just has that edge on it as far as the accuracy goes. So there you go, guys. The proof is on the paper. Bam, right there. So, other than that, let's take a couple other things into consideration here. The Gamo has that swarm mechanism going for it, which is pretty awesome. You know, it's a little bit stiffer to cock. It definitely is. It takes a little more effort to cock that Gamo, but you've got that swarm 10-shot magazine on there. You don't have to individually load each pellet, so out in a hunting situation, that's definitely going to give you a little bit of an advantage. And lastly, between the two, you know, I don't have a trigger pull tester, but I'm going to say that the Gamo has a little bit lighter trigger. Neither of them are what I'd call light. You know, they both take a pretty deliberate effort to shoot as far as the trigger pull. But the Gamo, then again, it just has a little bit of an advantage. It's a little bit lighter, and it's got a very clear first and second stage. Whereas with the Umarex, the difference between that first and second stage on the trigger and where the breaking point is, it's a little bit more, kind of leaves you wondering sometimes. You know, is this going to break? And you're pulling pretty dang hard, and then finally whap, and it'll kind of catch you a little bit by surprise. Whereas with the Gamo, every time there's a clear first stage and then nice crisp second stage. Good job on the trigger there. So there you have it, guys. Umarex Octane Elite, Gamo Swarm Magnum, 2 high power brake barrels, both in that $300 price range. And the winner that comes out on top in my books is the Gamo Swarm Magnum. Now, if you guys disagree, if you want to let me know in the comments what you think of these two guns, please go ahead and do so. Also, guys, make sure to subscribe to this channel, Shooting Gear Reviews. We're going to be putting out new videos every week. I'm going to be putting mine out every week on Thursday, and that way you guys will never miss the new videos that we put out on the Shooting Gear Reviews. We're going to be going through more gun comparisons. This is not just the first, or I should say this is not just the last in this series. Next week I'm going to be comparing a lower dollar PCP to a high dollar PCP. I'm going to give you a hint. One of those PCPs is made by the same company that makes this Octane Elite, and the other PCP is from an overseas company. They're an English company, and that's all I'll tell you guys for now. And I guess that's it for this video. Stay tuned, guys. Like and subscribe, and that's it for today. I'm Ben, the Outdoors Air Gunner. Outdoors, having a whole lot of fun with my air guns. See you guys.